So it's fucking 4:50 in the morning and this baby is not wanting to go to sleep. So I thought, oh, what a perfect time. Film my birth story because it's that fucking long anyway. So, started on Saturday, October 31st. So I just had a real chill day and I was just a bit concerned about his movements. So I rang my midwife and I was like, hey, he hasn't been moving as much as usual, so I'm just a bit worried because, man, I have anxiety at the worst of fucking times. So I did that. I contacted her. She was like, look, come in and we'll just make sure that everything's all good. And yeah, so I went into Hawera and put me on the monitor and he was happy as Larry. He was fine. Regular movements, that always happens, or when you go to hospital for reduced movements and then you get to hospital, be put on the monitor and they fucking move. Anyway, so that was that. And I was under the obstetrician because of my BMI. So even though my midwife looked after me and, you know, an obstetrician, they had to know everything, and she just had to double check with him. She rang him and he was like, look, we still want her to come up to base hospital just to check everything for a few hours, stuff like that, and then you will see. And then my midwife was like to me, okay, look, you gotta go up to base. And I was like, fuck's sakes, because it's like an hour drive for me and he's happy, why the fuck do I have to go up there? But whatever. And got to New Plymouth and they admitted me. They didn't admit me, they just put me into a room and chucked me on the monitor. And then I sat there for like 3 hours just on the monitor talking to Nick. And this was at like we went up there at 5 o'clock, I think it was. And I was just like, fuck's sakes, I'm so fucking tired, I just want to go home. But again, he was happy as Larry, but they just needed to double check. The doctor came in and she was like, I'll just book you in for a scan on Monday. You go get another glucose test and some more blood tests, and then we'll, just to make sure everything's okay. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So I think it was like 11 o'clock we got discharged and left back home. And then, so Monday morning at 8 o'clock I got a phone call from the ultrasound place, or not ultrasound place, like the ultrasound department in Taranaki base, to come in for a scan that morning. And I was like, fucking hell, really? You give me like 2 fucking hours notice? How fucking dumb. Whatever, I was just like, well, we better go check if he's okay. So I was like, yep, okay. Got an appointment for like 11, like, it was like 11:15 or whatever. Got to New Plymouth. Went into the ultrasound, everything was good. And then at the end, the lady was like, oh, we're just a bit concerned about his abdomen growth. I'll just call up your obstetrician and see what. And I was like looking at Casey and I was like, Casey and Charlotte were there. And I was looking at Casey like, what the fuck? I am like, what is he okay? Like, he was happy, like he was happy, but. And then she came back in and she was like, can you please go down to the maternity ward? You're gonna be admitted. I was like, what the fuck? I am not ready for this. My fucking heart was like pounding and I was like, fucking hell, I'm not fucking ready for this. So yeah, us 3 went down to maternity. They put me into a room and then like 5 minutes later the doctor came in and she was like, look, we're just a bit concerned about his growth. And at this point I was like 39 weeks exactly, so I was nearly like fucking due. Anyway, she was like, we're gonna induce you today. Oh no, bitch, I am not ready for this. And then me and Casey and Charlotte were like, what the fuck? We came up here just for like a regular growth scan. Oh, now we're getting induced. So I rang Nicholas, Mum and all that, and they all panicked and came up. And then they came in and they told me what they're going to start off with. Came in about 4 o'clock and they put, I think they did it internal, and they realised that my fucking cervix was like behind. Like his head was there, but my cervix was behind, and it has to come around to, but you know how it works. But so yeah, they were like, okay, the internal was real painful, because like, that's a fucking hand up, you Mick. Anyway, so they did the internal, and then they were like, okay, so we're going to start off with cervical tape. And I was like, okay, whatever. So it's like this tape, and they put on your cervix, and it releases this medicine to soften it. So that was cool. They did that, and then had to wait 24 hours to see if it did anything. 24 hours later, Tuesday afternoon, about 4 o'clock, they checked me. Nothing had happened. No dilation. My cervix hadn't even moved. I was like, oh, fucking great. They were like, okay, look, our next option is to put on the gel. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. So they came in about 6 o'clock, and they put on the gel, which pretty much does the same thing, like it's just a medicine that softens your cervix. And so yeah, they put on the gel. I had to wait 12 hours to see if that had done anything. No, that had done nothing. And then all while this whole time I was getting mild contractions, like to the point where like Nick would have to squeeze my, like, fuck, it was fucking sore. Like I was getting contractions but nothing was happening. And then yeah, so Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock, so 12 hours later, the nurses came in and they did another internal, and they checked me. Nothing had happened. I was like, fuck. So then they put on the gel again. So yeah, at 6 o'clock they did that, and then what happened then? Then they checked me 12 hours later. Yeah, they checked me 12 hours later, and nothing had happened again. I was like, fucking hell, you stubborn fucking cervix. I was getting angry at Cooper by then, but it wasn't his fault. It was my dumb fucking body. And the doctor came in, and she was like, look, nothing's happening, babe. And I was like, I fucking know. Nothing's happening. And then she's like, so here's our options. In the next 2 hours, we can either try and put in this balloon catheter, or we can send you home and let you rest and just be in your home environment and blah 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 blah, and then get you back in on Monday and start the whole process again. I was like, break you down, like, fuck off. Fucking, I don't know what to fucking do. My mum was so angry. She's like, you fucking induced her for a reason. Get this fucking baby out. Da 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 da. And like, fucking hell. She was so angry. She's like, why would you fucking start this process if he's okay? Da da da. And you're willing to send her home. Da da da. My mum was not happy. So I rang my midwife and I asked for her opinion, and she's like, don't you fucking go home, you fucking stay there. They induced you for a reason, exactly like my mum was saying. So she came back in and I just had a few questions because I was upset, and I was like, I was just so scared of having a C-section. I was like, oh no, I don't want to have a C-section, because like, I was just so tired because I hadn't slept because I was having contractions. You can't sleep through that shit. And it was just fucking, I was just exhausted at that point. I was just like, fucking hell. And then she came in, yeah, so I asked questions. And I was like, look, let's just try this balloon. There's no harm in trying, right? God, fucking hell. 2 hours later, they put me into a labour ward, right? And put me on the stirrups. So my legs were up, my mick was out. And they fucking gave me the gas. Mum, Kimberly and Nick were in there. And I was like, because my internals were so painful because my cervix was so behind and they had to fucking get in there. So the point of this balloon is they put it up there, inflate it behind my cervix with water. And then they put another one in front of my cervix and inflate that one with water. And they push against each other to try and open up my cervix, right? So they did that. And honestly, that was the most horrific fucking experience of my life. So I was hyperventilating on this gas. I was like, that sound even scares me because, so I was sucking on this gas and I was feeling like, I got to the point of, oh, I'm just dizzy and just drunk and numb. And then I just kept going, and then my mind went black. And I remember thinking, I was like, oh my god, I am fucking dying. And all I could hear was voices. I could hear Kimberly telling me, Keely, relax your ass down. And I was like, okay, because the doctor was obviously trying to put this fucking balloon in me. So I just kept relaxing my ass down and I could hear Kimberly saying, good girl, good girl. And then I heard Nick laugh, Mum laugh, Kimberly talk, Nick. And I was thinking, because my mind was black and all I could hear was my heart and just their voices faintly. And I fucking, I remember thinking to myself, oh my god, I'm dying. Whose voice am I going to hear last? And yeah, so I heard Kimberly, Nick, Mum, Kimberly, and then all I heard was my heart beating. Oh my god, it fucking gives me such a panic attack just fucking thinking about it. All I could hear was my heart just beating. It was just like do-do, do-do, do-do. And then I woke up like this. I was like, fuck. Apparently I was fucking screaming there because I thought I was gonna fucking die. And I looked at my mum and I was like, Mum, I'm so fucking scared. I just want a C-section. It's fucking horrible. I don't want to fucking do this. I just want him out. I just want him out. And I was like I just wanted every night I prayed to Dad and Jess and I was like, please make sure my baby arrives here safe. And I remember saying to Mum, I just pray for Dad and Jess every night. And Nick and Mum started crying. Kimberly was like, Keely, you're not dying. I was like, no, Kimberly, I was so sure I was gonna die. And like, so we're like, Keely, we're nearly done, just please relax. And I just did it. I just dealt with the pain, even though it was so hard. Anyway, so they got the balloon in me. And we had to wait 24 hours to see if they had done anything. So they put that in Wednesday afternoon. And that's when I got the most painful contractions, was that night. Because obviously it was working. Like, so they, like, the whole night I didn't get any sleep. Neither did Nick. And so then they, came in on Thursday afternoon, checked so what they wanted to do was because my internals were so painful, they wanted to check check how dilated I was, as well as break my waters at the exact same time. And they were like, look, we're happy to offer you gas again, but we know you freaked out on it yesterday. And I was like, but I think I just had too much. And I was like, I'll just try it once more. But what I did this time was I got Nick to hold it. And when I got to that point of, oh yeah, I'm happy, he took it off me. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I need more. But I didn't just keep sucking it in or breathing it in or whatever. So yeah, they checked me. I was 2 to 3 centimetres dilated at Thursday afternoon about 2 o'clock. So they broke my waters. And it was the most surreal thing. I was so happy. I was like, fucking about time. I'm so exhausted. I just want my baby here. Shit like that. So we walked down to the cafeteria and I was dribbling all along the fucking way. Nick was cleaning up my fucking juices with fucking cloths and shit. Then all I got was an ice block. Because I wasn't hungry. I was just exhausted and thirsty and shit like that. And then they came to me. They were like, look, your contractions haven't started yet, but we're not going to take you into the labour ward as of yet because we've just had 5 ladies come in and they're all full and we just can't afford to have you go into labour as of yet. Then that happened, and then like 2 minutes later they came back and they were like, look, we're going to take you to a labour ward. This was 4 o'clock. 4:30. Yeah, 4:30. I was like, oh my god, my mum's not even here. Well, my mum. That's all I was thinking. And Auntie Deb's like, she'll be here in time, Keely. It's not going to happen straight away. Da 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 da. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So we went to a labour ward. And the lovely midwife, I just love her. I don't even know what her name was. Olivia, maybe? Yeah, I think her name was Olivia. She came to me, she was like, look, I recommend you get the epidural. These contractions are hard. Your internals are hard. Because they're going to put me on this drip to start my contractions, obviously. I totally recommend you get the epidural. I was against it. I was like, no, I was too scared. I don't want to fucking be paralysed for the rest of my life and da da da. Shit like that. I'm just an overthinker, right? Mum and Dad arrived and I talked to them about it. I was like, what do you guys recommend? And they're like, whatever you want, Keely. Do you think you can handle the pain? Da da da. And I was like, I don't know. I'm just so exhausted. I just don't know what to do. And then I just decided, fuck it. Like, surely I'm not going to get paralysed, right? Everything's going to be good. So the midwife that was going to look after me for the next, I think she looked after me from like 5 to 12 maybe. Yeah, must have been 5 to 11 or something. She came in with the anaesthesiast person and they fucking he explained to me all the risks and shit like that. I was like, fucking, this is not what I want to hear when I'm just about to fucking get it. So then I got it and I was so scared it was going to hurt. It didn't even fucking hurt. I just had to stay still and yeah, and everything. And like, he asked me, can you feel it going in the middle? And I was like, oh, it's a bit to the left. And he's like, oh, we'll just see if it works. And I was like, oh, what the fuck do you mean? So yep, got the epidural, sat down, they put me on the drip, and then that's when things started, obviously, but I couldn't feel anything. So, and every hour, or I think it was every 20 minutes, they had to up the drip to make my contractions stronger and stronger, and I couldn't feel them, so that was all good. And my epidural was working fine and all that shit. They were checking baby. So I think it got to about, must have been like 10 o'clock. Maybe 9 o'clock? Yeah, 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock. They checked me and I got to 3 centimetres could stretch to a 4 or something like that is their terms. Yeah, so they checked me and I was 3 could stretch to a 4, which is their terms, right? So as they were upping the drips, they noticed that Cooper's heart rate every 5 contractions would drop to like 90, but he would recover well. So they weren't too concerned, but she called in the head midwife, Sam, love Sam, and she was like, look, this is what's happening. And he was like, I'm not too concerned because he's recovering well. So yeah, they checked me again at fucking, what time was it? Maybe 12 o'clock. And nothing had happened but to my cervix. And this bitch, I just didn't really like her anyway. She was old. Anyway, she lovely, but no. Yeah, so she checked me, nothing had happened, and she was like, look honey, you're gonna have a C-section because your cervix is not doing anything. And I was like, okay. I was mentally preparing myself, like, fucking hell. She's like, we'll give you till 4 o'clock, and because he's happy, and it's just this heart rate's dropping a bit at these 5th contractions, so we've just down the drip and we'll just ease it up slowly. And I was like, okay. So then my second midwife came in, love her, I don't remember her name, I wish I did. So she came in and she was looking after me from obviously 12 o'clock till whenever he came. And at this point, my epidural, I was feeling like my right side, like my whole left side was numb as fuck. My right side I could feel fine. So it was so bizarre. Like, I could feel all my contractions really painful, but only on my right side. But I just dealt with it. She was like, if you're happy to deal with it, just deal with it. And I was like, yeah, well, I fucking am. I'll just fucking keep pushing the thing and hoping it numbs. So I was pushing this thing to get more epidural into my system. And it obviously made this side numb again, but it made my left side number. And I was like, oh my god, I'm literally like fucking paralyzed on my left side because I couldn't move anything. Because with the epidural you can still move, but you can't feel it. On my right side, I was like, my left side, I was like, oh bitch, I'm fucking paralyzed. Anyway, so came to 4 o'clock, and this lovely lady, she did an internal, and she was like, okay, hun, I can't find your cervix. That means it's gone, and you got to start pushing. And I was like, what the fuck? So I went from like 3 centimeters to 3 centimeters to 10 centimeters in like 4 hours. I don't even know if that's normal, but that's just what happened to me. So that happened, and then we Sam came in and he was like, look, you have 10 minutes to push this baby out, otherwise I'm sucking him out. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean sucking him out? So I tried to push, and like his head was right there, so obviously they could access him via the fucking Vontos. So that happened. I tried to push, and I don't know, I was so exhausted at this point. I hadn't slept for 5 fucking days. I was just so tired. Sam came in with this fucking, literally looked like, how do I even, like a fucking masturbate, looked like a fucking rubbish bin on a trolley, fucking with this suction thing. So he had to cut me, and he was like, okay Keely, you're gonna do one big push. This thing about this size, and his hand went in my neck. Oh, poor bitch. And that went on the back of his head. He fucking apparently just yanked on it, like, surprised. All my sisters were surprised that his head didn't even fucking pop off. I was like, do I need to push? Do I need to push? And Sam's like, no, Keely, he's all good. And then he grabbed him out, and my sister said he turned his head to face them, and you'll see, I want to show you guys my birth. I filmed it. I didn't feel anything. I didn't even have to push or anything. It was just the most easiest birth. My labour, no. Birth, yes. Turned his head to face Kibley and all that, and they were all like, oh look! And then he grabbed him out, and he held him up and chucked him to me, and he didn't even cry. I was like, oh my god, is he okay? Is he fucking okay? They're like, yes Keely, he's fine, he's just not crying. And I was like, no, but make sure he's okay. You'll see it. And then I had Mr. Cooper at 5:22 on November the 6th. The most hardest labour, but easy birth. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. After this, if you want to stop watching now, stop watching, because I'm going to put up the video of me giving birth, and you can see things, but I don't give a fuck. Like, you've probably already seen them all before. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Amazing to watch back on. I'm glad I filmed it. It was the best thing ever. He's the best thing ever. I'm totally blessed. Okay, enjoy.
I'm here to admit that you were my medicine. Oh, I couldn't quit, and I'm down on my knees again, asking for nothing. Thank you for the happiest year of my life. Thank you for the happiest year of my life. Ooh. Don't think I could forgive myself. I'm sorry for the ways that I used you. could care less right now, but you know you hurt me pretty good too. Yeah, we made each other bleed, and we tasted it. I'm here to admit that you were my medicine. Oh love, I couldn't quit, and I'm down on my knees again. Thank you for the happiest year of my life. Oh, thank you for the happiest year of my life. Ooh. So wake me up when they build that time machine. I wanna go back. Wake me up when you were sleeping next to me. 'Cause I really loved you. Ooh. Thank you for the happiest year of my life. Thank you for the happiest year of my life. Oh, thank you for the happiest year of my life. Yeah. Thank you for the happiest year of my life. Thank you for the happiest year of my life.